Can you hear me now, you guys? Sorry about that. I had the audio accidentally mute. I told you it's been a while since I had this up, but basically, thanks you guys for coming and letting me know that the audio was off. So, everything that I just said was in the mute void. Wonderful. Are you able to hear the background music also? So to repeat what I had said, basically just welcoming you guys. Thanks for coming into the chat. And for those who are probably catching this on a replay, this is the first session of Art in Chat. So if you're perhaps drawing or maybe even doing basic things like cleaning, because I tend to listen to long streams while I'm cleaning or doing regular house chores, I'm just basically doing some nitty-gritty cleanup work on this comic that I should have updated a while ago. And we'll be chatting about two topics that I'd like to talk about for this chat. But of course, it's not a rigid chat. If you have any questions or perhaps you want to leave questions for next video, just post them in the comments. A quick little announcement, reminder, whatnot, is that I am running a giveaway for comic tutorial books that I still own, but I'm no longer needing and would like to give them away. And it's the most recent updated video, the one previous to this live stream. And all you have to do is watch the video, see which books that you want, because I talk about the books that I'm giving away, and just comment underneath the comments in that video, not this video, of which of the book that you'd like to have. And it's open till the end of the month. So yeah, so I'll be giving those away. And then the other thing that I have open still is the the art chat, not the art chat, the sketch request. Yes, I still have the sketch request. I only ask that it's kept PG and that it is either contemporary or sci-fi. In theme, you just leave a link below any of my sketch request videos and you'll see it's a playlist. You just type in a link of either the description of your character or illustration that you have done of the character, and I'll work on that. And again, that's just to you guys, my viewers who enjoy it. I mean, while I'm small, I'm able to do this. If I become a very large channel, it'd be impossible to deal with like thousands of sketch requests or even hundreds of sketch requests. So get it in now while I'm still small and growing and things like that. So thanks again for coming in and watching. And yeah, so while I'm doing this live stream session, which will be probably until, I want to say 8:30ish, so about an hour or so, because I'm just cleaning up some inks. Maybe I might do a little bit of inking, but my computer tends to be finicky doing inks while streaming for some reason. So in the meantime, by all means, if you have questions or perhaps video requests for future references, please leave them in the comments and I'll get to them as I can. But to get into today's two topics, one of the topics is dealing with procrastination, and then the second topic is basically treating art tools like candy, or when you really want something but you're still debating whether you should actually get it. So those are the two topics that I thought would be fun to talk about today. Quick update on my end. I'm definitely kind of behind. Not too behind. I'm behind on this comic, yes, but I'm also kind of behind on the sketchbook a month thing. And I know for a fact that I have a tendency where I'm more of the type of person to binge work on things. So I probably will fill like 10 pages over the weekend or even more, because I have something else that I need to work on. And then let's see, I have been taking care of my family member, and they're actually doing pretty well so far. I check on them on the phone daily and they've been doing pretty well, so that's good on that end. But I have to say I have been really tired, just constantly tired. And I think I'm just now starting to get my wind in for the month of feeling a little bit less tired. I don't know. It's random. Nothing happened. I just randomly out of the month, I'll just all of a sudden feel tired. So let's see here. Let's get this in. Yeah, the sketch request doesn't have to be an OC, but I would just assume that you would want it to be your OC because people are always drawing fan art, but usually people don't draw fan art of your own characters. So I figured it'd be much more something cooler to have if it's your OC. And since it is a sketch request, it's not required that you have it already drawn. But I do ask that you keep it to like 2 to 3 sentences for the description. And what I end up doing is I sketch it and then I record the process and then it pops up on my YouTube video as a speed paint. I'll probably be doing some of those as part of my sketchbook, my monthly sketchbook challenge. So you might have some of them being traditional media looking or stuff like that. I know, but it's definitely, I know I usually say it's gonna be an hour, but it's definitely gonna be an hour unless all of a sudden I feel that energetic and get into the flow. I know it takes me roughly half an hour just to get into a flow, but I have a number of things that I have to do, and it's already 7:30 on my end, and I'm trying to get to bed by 10:30 because, oh my goodness, waking up in the morning is such a chore. It is such a chore. We're at a point technologically wise that I really don't need to be in the office, but it's an old type of business. It's a corporate business. They've been going for I think 100 years or so, and they just don't believe in not having everybody in the office. So they want us bright and early, 8 o'clock sharp until 5 p.m. And I'm pretty much a zombie for half of the day, no matter what. Yeah, you see, you're pretty busy yourself. I mean, like I said, you're free to leave the art and chat on. I tend to listen to long streams while I'm either like cleaning or cooking or doing some basic house chores or organizing things. But if you're studying, then yeah, it's best to study in silence. Especially since most of the stuff here is pretty tedious. If you want, you could go ahead and leave your questions ahead of time and I'll go ahead and answer them and then you could listen to them in the replay. Because I think this will be it's almost going to be like watching paint dry or something because I'm just really going to spend the time cleaning up the inks. Okay. So. Okay. Are you able to hear the music, you guys? I'll put it either louder or lower if it's too loud for you. Let's see here. Okay, cool. Go ahead and merge that up. Making comics is definitely the way to really learn how to do things because there's so much stuff you're learning on to do here. So much stuff. Good. I'm glad. Maybe I should talk about that. Okay, I'll just do a little side comment. I, for some reason, decided to go more jazzy with like lo-fi, and it's because on some days I'm perky, but for the most part, I sound so much like a sloth. I am sounding so sleepy, and I just accept that about myself. I'm pretty, I like to keep, cool and calm, and then eventually my brain gets into the trance thing. I can't do the whole EDM music while I work because it'll make me want to get up and exercise or something. But this kind of music calms me down long enough for me to like, oh, okay, let's get to work. Um, the only other music is sometime like RPGs or JRPG lobby rooms, like if you go to like the cafe or the lunchroom or the hotel or whatever, the lodging, and that kind of like waiting menu music. I love I love listening to that if I feel like I need to get some work done. I just can't help it. It just calms me. So instead of doing the whole perky thing. So there's this recent video that I watched from video influencers. One of those how to work YouTube or whatever, how to make YouTube work or whatever type of channels. And it was so ridiculously perky that I had to stop the video several times just to laugh at the ridiculousness that people do to grab and keep the attention of viewers. And then I'm thinking to myself, well, why does a person needs to be grabbed attention for so much when I purposely came to your channel for a very specific thing? It doesn't make sense to me. But I've decided, instead of going, perky or you know, sharp voices and all that stuff, that I'd rather people just come and chill and relax, especially since most of my videos are uploaded late in the evening or almost at night, just to be calming and maybe get you guys into sketching in your sketchbook or something. Just keep mellow. The poses. I'll definitely add that to my list, because this takes a lot. I'll probably have how to make poses cheat sheet or a cheat video or something, and it's not really a cheat per se, but it's just kind of really listing out together how I come about with my poses. The basic would be, looking up pose references. Yeah, looking up pose references is pretty much what I do. And from there, I also use dolls. Am I able to use a doll? Let me see if I can, if I still have a video of a pose of the doll. Let me see. Pose references. So I do have a link about it. Let's see here. So I purchased this guy and the girl also. And if I'm really finding a difficult time figuring out a pose, I will use that. I also use other poses from books. I like to use still shots from movies, because sometimes when people pose for you, it doesn't look right. But action films. So sometimes I'll watch an action film and just freeze the frame and screenshot that. So I'll list methods of finding or creating unique poses and stuff for another video. So that's that. But that's a good idea. Let me write that down right here. I'll name the title of the video "How to Come Up with Poses. Tips and cheats." That sounds clickbait enough. Alright, got that in. So, let's see. My other topics that I was mentioning. Let's see, the whole notion of procrastination. So, I am a natural procrastinator. I was born lazy. I am not one to seek for adventure. I totally find spending the entire day lounging around. So it's really hard for me not to just, it's kind of like the whole law of momentum thing. What's at rest, stay at rest, and what's in motion, stay in motion. So I have this tendency of trying to fill my calendar, as I mentioned in my previous crazy art goals for 2018, just filling it up. And the fact that I see so much to do stuff will be like, okay, I gotta keep going, gotta keep going, gotta keep going, gotta keep going. But if I stop, and I had when I was helping with my parents, I just stopped for like 4 or 5, maybe 6 days straight. And I pretty much would get up, eat, talk, and then go back to sleep. And I was totally okay with that. Which could explain why I feel so sleepy right now. Not now, but when I first came back and really not wanting to be at work. It was really hard to come back because my natural state is to just chill and relax and, don't worry, And so how do I deal with my procrastination? I would like to say that, for one thing, I don't follow any of like the guru advice thing. Like, I think I've recently listened to a I didn't mean to, but it was just a topic that was grouped in with another topic of how to deal with procrastination. And one of the things where like people would say, oh, I felt like they would either be like they would suffer such a bad consequence, or they would go to bed crying and stuff like that. And I'm just like, nah, if I miss a day, I missed a day. The worst that'll happen is someone might, yell after me or something like that. Like, I was the type that was totally fine taking a lower grade because I just did not felt like doing something. That is how I am. And so all of the typical things that people mention about procrastination, tips and how to get over it, never seem to work on me. So I find that it just helps to binge things. Nowadays, I've had people tell me, oh, but you do so many things, you get so many things done. And really, it's a binge thing. Like, as soon as I get into the flow, but I really am only going to do this stream for 1 hour. As soon as I get into this flow, I'm like, okay, I need to stay in it as long as possible, as long as possible, and just do so much work that it compensates for the weeks on end that I'm not doing work. Lately now, I've just filled up my calendar and my days so much that I'm no longer the type to easily procrastinate anyways, only because I'm so used to being in that state of mind of work. I kind of like being busy. I do. I don't know. Does that make me sound kind of crazy and weird? I like being busy. Well, if it's a good busy, like, I don't particularly care about my day job busy, but I'm totally fine just spending the day waking up and working on art and comics. So hopefully I get into doing, hopefully eventually, maybe in the next 2 years, I can get to just doing like art and comics full time. That's another topic, trying to be a full-time artist. Who knows, that might happen sooner than later. I know this year and the next year, with so many rules changing and laws changing and things that are happening with YouTube lately, I think a lot of people, they're not going to abandon YouTube, but or Facebook or anything else. They're just, they're getting older and they're getting kind of tired. So I'm just figuring it out that eventually, since I'm just starting, I'm just going to end up replacing one of them or something, just out of sheer tiredness. Like, because I don't see myself doing this for more than maybe 10 years. I think at the 10-year mark, I'd be tired too. Yeah, doing and saying is two different things. Saying that you're going to do something is not the same as actually doing it. So, but that's that. Who knows? I might end up doing it for 20-something years. Although the fact that YouTube would last that long, because I think YouTube is recently past the 10-year mark. So we'll see. I think this page is pretty. We're just missing. So the food thing we'll get to another day, because I don't like drawing food. I really don't like drawing household furniture for some reason. It's like, you know, it's a chair. There's nothing really, like, no one's gonna spend 10 minutes staring at my beautiful chair design. They just want to read the cool story. But so we'll work on that later. I'm just adjusting the little weight lines here. So I know it's the new start of the year, but I still haven't really, I've been waitlisted for 2 conventions, and I've been invited to one, not as a guest, but to be able to table on it. And after that, I haven't heard anything from any of the cons, and they're kind of, they're just, they're a little bit, they're not making me anxious, but it's just kind of funny that it's like, how long does it take for you to update things, since I know for a fact that almost all of the big ones already have like a 5 or 10 year contract with their lease, so they should know what's going on or how much things are going on. But I digress. I'm not even gonna get into like convention panel or convention drama, because there's been a lot lately. Oh, the carnage is real. All right, don't want to get you in trouble now. And welcome to all the new ones coming in. I'm just having a little comic art and chat, working on cleaning up the ink work, but trying really hard not to noodle too much. I think let's see here. But yeah, the conventions has been some serious upset, and it's kind of unfortunate, really, because so many people depend their business on that. And with what may or may not happen to the internet, I think more and more people are going to go like local, and it's we'll see what goes on with that, especially since there's people, you know, like the convention people who run it, they're not exactly transparent, and I don't think they're trying to be opaque. It's just more like, it's a lot of these cons are run by fans, and the same thing happened with the art industry. Most of us are not business people, you know, and we'll see how we'll just see how 2018 end up with people. For the most part, other than a few places that I will be tabling, hopefully I get into Anime Expo. I would like to. I've never been, and I would just like to, and I'll be okay with just breaking even on Anime Expo. Just to see. I'll probably, well, I'd like to be a little bit more than break even, because there's a lot of artists I'd like to buy their art books and their sketchbook from. I have a real addiction of collecting art books and sketchbooks, guys. A real addiction. I find I learn from them, and I also just, I love them. They're just so beautiful. And if you want to see some of the art books that I have, I do update like art book hauls and stuff on the channel also, so you could take a look at that. The next video, should I give you a spoiler about the next video? I'll give you a tip for the next video, the next art book haul video, that is. Cardcaptor Sakura. That is your sneak peek for the next art book video. Aw, thank you for the compliment, Kelly. Let me know if you happen to have any comments or questions, or perhaps ideas for future art books that you'd like, not art books, videos, art videos you'd like me to work on. And again, a heads up for anyone coming in, I am currently running a comic book tutorial giveaway, so it's the video that was uploaded previous to this one. Just go to there, see which books that I'm giving away, and then comment below that video which one you'd like to have an opportunity to win. Alright. So what's the next thing? The next topic. Speaking of art book videos and things that I want to buy, so I want to not only improve this channel, but just improve the things that I make. Like, I like making unique items, and it also could probably be because for my day job I work as like a product development artist, and that means like the stuff that you go buy in stores that has art on it. So like bed sheets, party plates, cups, anything that you could buy, clothing, anything that's not a solid color, anything with any sort of design on it. That's usually my day job, and I think it kind of influence like the things that I want to make. So I don't want to just make prints, especially since I I basically only sell like original artwork anyways. So I really want to like make myself stand out by making these cool little products, especially since that's my profession. And so there's all these things that's been coming out. Like lately I've been really wanting to I want to make some custom stickers. I'd like to really make some custom stickers. Like it's been something I've been thinking about, and I really want to make them now. But the cutters that makes the stickers are run about, the one that I want is $250. I think the cheapest you can get is $180, but the $181 I don't like the program, whereas the $250 you just slip in the paper after you print it, and then it just cuts it on the line that it somehow magically registers on its own. So I really want a cutter. I could probably yeah, it's probably, the cutter is hard to explain. It's basically you print out, let's say you're making a sticker sheet, right? And then you basically print it out, and I would print it out on a laser printer, and then I slip it in, it scans the image. Notice where like the outlines are, especially if I do like a dark outline, and from there it'll just cut the edges. So I could just make as many as one sheet of sticker paper, or like 2 or 3 sheets of sticker paper. And I also want to make like planner stickers. I want to make planner stickers. I want to make theme stickers. I want to make so many things. Here I'm talking about me being a procrastinator and born lazy, and I just end up want to make so many things, guys. Just too many things. Way too many things. Yeah. So hopefully, but I'm trying to debate to myself, because I know that I'm not going to make that many stickers in 1 year to justify the $250, but then I'm like, well, I paid for other things that maybe I wouldn't exactly justify them too. But it's like, for example, I'm definitely don't see myself, my English is really bad, but I don't see myself buying like markers anytime soon, because I still have like my really old markers and they still work. I can't justify paying $7 a markers. I do like my shuttle art markers, so maybe once those dry out, I'll buy more markers. But until then, even if I want to, I'm not going to buy the markers. But that cutter, and the thing is, it's not like I just have randomly $200, $300 lying around anyways. Other things that I'd like to buy is probably a 4K, sports camera. Now that is actually relatively cheap. You could get them for roughly $60 to $100, and that's how much I paid for my mic that I connect to my computer so you can hear me as clear as possible. So that I might end up getting pretty soon, because I want a dedicated camera, and I also want to have more than one like camera angles, you know, trying to get a little fancy with my editing. The reason being is I want to improve my YouTube my YouTube videos that I upload. And I also find a difficulty like half the time. I'm sure you've noticed. You guys been kind not to mention it, but sometimes the angle of which I end up recording it, I end up finding out that, oh, well, I pretty much cut off like half of what I was drawing and you can't see it, so it kind of defeats the purpose. So I'm thinking I might invest on a second camera. My phone only records in 720. Okay, I'm getting really technical. Point is, my phone does not record as high as a res I would like it to. And for things like artwork, I would like it to record in higher res. There, keep it in simple terms. So I want to get that. Other than that, I'm not the type to spend money on things like, oh, I don't know, Starbucks coffee. Nothing against Starbucks coffee. But a pound of coffee costs like $7. And I'd rather pay $7 for a pound of coffee than $3 for one cup. I'm just saying. Just saying. But I have plenty of bills to deal with, which there's another YouTuber. He does a lot of Artist Alley vlogs. I can't exactly recall his name exactly, but he just recently finished his whatchamacallit, paying off his school loans, and he uploaded a video about him paying it, and I hope that's me in 10 years. Tea. What tea I would suggest? I actually like, I think it's called Constant Comment, and it's an English anytime tea, but it has caffeine. It's like one step down from coffee. I've been really liking that, especially with the chill weather. If it's later in the evening, I'd probably go for like a Twinings spicy chai tea. I always like that, and usually I use either cane sugar or brown sugar in the raw, because it has that kind of like caramelish flavor to it. There you go. Okay. I think this page is cleaned up enough, right? I think so. Alright. So that page is cleaned. This needs to be worked on. This page is fine. Get exit out of this. Save. Alright. Okay. This one will take a bit. Let's see how much I can get done in half an hour. Other things that I'd like to get is a nice standing desk. Lately I've been sitting down all day really does take a toll on your body, and I've been wanting a standing desk, but I think the cheapest I can get is probably from IKEA, and it's like $200 for these things. Even getting like the tabletop adapter, which I wouldn't trust anyways, those cost $200 by themselves. And but I've been wanting that lately. I also would like the standing floor mat to match with them. Trying to be healthy, you guys. Trying to be healthy. So far I've come up with about almost let's see, $250, $200, and then $100 for the markers. So right now I'm about $600 plus the camera, which is like $60, $75. All right, so I'm up to about $660 worth of want to buys. What other stuff can I dream up? My current printer is definitely, it's not working and looking, well, it works, but it eats up ink so much, and I really want to get like a at-home laser printer, and that's another $350 right there. Why does Art Tools cost so much? It doesn't matter whether you're traditional or digital. If you're traditional, it's like $7 per marker, like $20 per book of high grade paper and all that stuff. If you're digital, it's like $50 a month for Adobe, which, by the way, I will be figuring out how to cancel that eventually by trying to see if I could switch to Affinity or finding like whatchamacallit, a cheaper program that does what I need it to do, because that $53 a month is not nice. It is not nice. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Adobe switched to that thing and it's expensive now. So what can we do other than hopefully someone eventually, because the thing is, I use Photoshop for more than just drawing onto it, which is what Manga Studio is for. But it is what it is. Forgot to mention that Photoshop has a smoothing feature, which is not as good as Manga Studio's like correction tool, but whatever. You take what you can get. That didn't do nothing. Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah, Photoshop has a correction pen correction tool now, in case you didn't know. Like ink correction tool. It's just not as intuitive as other programs. Other cheaper programs. Alright, let's get the balloons. Huh. And things like that. What other random expensive? I think. Wow, I think that might be it. There's might be a few other things, like I want to get some. Oh no, something I want to get for conventions is the tall like photographer's backdrop banner holder thing. It goes like across your entire table, and it has its own stand, and those cost $75. So now I'm over $700. I wonder if I can get a tax deductible somehow. We'll see. We shall see. I'm planning to add some more interesting stuff going on for the channel. And actually, give me one quick second. Let me take a photo of it, because I did draw some cute stuff that I hope to clean out. And it's part of the reason why I wanted to do stickers so much. Let's see. Oh, I don't have it. Okay, so let me take a quick photo and add that in. Just gonna add this, and then I can show you guys a quick preview of the artwork that I've made for this channel. It's super kawaii. It features some of the other things that I've purchased, such as my fake glasses. I have a thing for glasses. There, I shared something personal with you guys. I have a thing for glasses. They just look adorable. Everyone looks good with them. Everyone, just everybody. Everybody looks good with glasses. And And I decided to really showcase my favorite color, purple. So I got 2 purple wigs actually that I hope to start showing at conventions. Let's see. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? I have a very large save file where I know you're here somewhere. I know this looks more boring than it really is. I'm just trying to see if I can find it because sometimes it won't. Alright, it's not going to show it up here, so I'm just going to pull it up this way. There you go. And where are you? Where did you disappear from me? I know you're in here. Oh, there you go. Let's open these guys up. So I took a really not the best photo for him, but these are just some like chibi arts that I did for the channel eventually. So we'll be having that showing up pretty soon. There you go. So you can't see them all too clearly here, but I took a lovely photo of my little chibi-ness drawing of me. Just giving myself a pat in the back. So eventually you'll start seeing them pop up on videos also, little Citrias. And that's part of the reason why I was like, I need to do stickers. I just want to sit there and draw stickers. Just draw really cute stickers, so. I might have like a a daily sticker challenge or something. That would be cool. That would be cool, wouldn't it? I'll just have like theme prompts and then, oh, that would be actually really cool. So I would just have theme prompts and hopefully everyone will participate. Not everyone, but whoever could. And in return for participating, I might give like a little tips to how to improve your drawing or something. I think that would be nice. I have to write that down too. I have to write that down. See, this is what I mean by being busy. I come up with way too many ideas. Too many ideas. Nothing I can actually do in one day or in one lifetime. Ha! Alright. So we got that going. What other cool stuff? Okay, I'm gonna say this. This is also a little cool stuff. See, this is the reason why you'd probably want to watch my live stream, because I just sit here and give all of like the preview exclusives. So today, and this is not official yet because I have to go and call them up and double check on prices and stuff like that. But today it occurred to me that, you know, those clear tumblers that you get at stores with like pretty designs and stuff, that they're not too cost prohibitive for me to make my own designs for those cups. So I figured, why not? I think that would be very unique to have, and they're very pretty, and I'll probably start making some designs for those too, on top of working on this comic. Did I mention I have a full-time day job? I must have not gotten that memo myself, because I am acting like I have all the time in the world to do all these projects. So many projects. Oh, I still have more to announce. Well, we'll see if that works. So this is something I found out. There's a comic scholarship, and the requirement is to finish your book within about 100 pages, so 60 to 100 pages, right? And the deadline for that is March 30th, but that's just for the submission, not to actually finish the comic. I don't think. I have to double check on that also. And I would like to submit to that also. Somehow, I'll find the time to make an additional 10 pages with character design, drawings, and all that good stuff, and hopefully get that submitted to them before the deadline. And if I win, I'll have to complete. It's required that I complete it within the year, so I'll be working on that. If I don't win, I'll finish it when I get a chance to finish it. So there goes another project. I have a lot. Oh, and to add to that is, now this won't come out until much later anyways, is whatchamacallit, the light novel that I want to write. I did a preliminary designs work for some of the things, and I have a general idea of the outline for the story. I'll eventually get to that. Would like to record them reading it, so it'll be like an author reading, and have those loaded up also, and then have those written up ahead of time, and perhaps make a buffer for those. I think that would be nice, but that's a maybe. Maybe I'll get to it this year. I would like to get to it this year. I just, Cross Star is the first thing for me to do, and then a couple of like projects is the next thing for me to do. Okay, this one's very messy area. Very messy area. On top of the fact that I want to do conventions and do panels. Hopefully I can figure out how to record at the panel, so then I can just go ahead and upload it to you guys on here. Get in here. I think I'm making relatively decent time. Relatively speaking. I think I want to fill this up with black. Yeah, let's fill this up with black. In here. So in the meantime, you guys have any other questions or comments or thoughts you want me to go over? If not, I'm going to continue cleaning this up and just randomly ranting and talking. Let's see here. What else? Oh, so that Diary of a Mangaka Wannabe podcast that I want to eventually do, that one will be even more of a daily rambling, but talking more towards, it's literally, as the title says, Diary of a Mangaka Wannabe. I did not realize how much hurdle it is to make a podcast. Like, it's much easier to do with YouTube because YouTube is free to upload. I do not understand why the podcast is not free. Somehow. I'm trying to figure this out. I know that Google's not really making much money off of YouTube, but I'm just curious as to I have to figure that out. I think that's also something that'll probably come later in the summer, because I didn't realize it was going to be that hurdle. I literally thought I would just record something, drop an intro music and outro music, and then just send a link to iTunes or something. I did not know it's far more involved than that. I'm not happy. I'm not a happy camper. For stuff like that, I'm definitely soliciting things that maybe it's like a question that you want me to answer versus showing a demo of it, if that makes sense. and get that in. Maybe. I think the last thing I'll chat about in see, I'm keeping to my clock, for the next half hour left is probably the comic that I worked on before. So I made the comic called Cross Star, and I'll put the link to the preview a little bit. Actually, let me see if I can look it up. Tapas. I made a comic previously called Cross Star, and looking into how I have the book, I have the physical book, and it's kind of funny how the positive is I really appreciate the artwork. I don't mean, because sometimes you look at something you work on and you're just kind of like, I think I don't like this art. But I'm not the type that just dislike my art outright like that. What I tend to do is just accept what my art is like and kind of like give myself a self-critique or look at what I have improved over time. I think that's a more healthy way of looking at your artwork versus the unhealthy way of constantly hating the work that you make. That's not a good thing. But I was just looking over some of these pages in actual book form, and I could show it to you guys real quick. So this is the preview of the previous book that I've created before I made this book, and this was probably the longest running book that I've made. It was roughly 64 pages. Pretty color artwork. Okay, and I'm really impressed by the compositional shots, which is why that Amazing Techniques is awesome. You guys, like, really awesome book. But there were other things that I was like, oh, I could do better. I do like the grayscale balance and stuff like this. Like, look at this shot, this part. Let me see if I can. This here, this is not too shabby. I definitely would do better now, but I'm relatively proud of my artwork. Special effects, all of these good stuff. So, like I said, I have a pretty balanced view of my work. But there was quite a number of things, like random little technical things, like choice of fonts. It's all legible, but it's just little tidy ups that I know that if I wasn't running under the gun and took the time to print out a hard copy myself before I sent it out to printing, I could fix. But they're not stuff that the readers find distasteful. I've gotten pretty good feedback on it. And at 64 pages, I was pretty proud of myself. It just took too long to do. And that's why with Cross Star, I'm like, I need to put the foot down and like do a long running series. Because at this point, it's just putting in the hours, you know? I don't think I like this. Yeah. Cleaning up inks is pretty tedious, but it's pretty much going back and forth and making sure like the blacks are legible, and I zoom in and out because you need to be able to see it well, because once it's printed it's not going to be that close up, and I want to make sure like everything looks good and clean, especially since at the end of the day I'm not an advanced artist. I might be advanced relatively speaking, but like I'm not that pro in my artwork. So it requires me to spend much more. I'm not that experienced. I think that's the best way to explain it. Experience. So it requires me to spend in a lot more hours making sure, just double checking, making sure, making corrections for it to look pretty good at the end of it. And that's why it just takes, I mean, really, I'm just literally pushing pixels back and forth right here. But it can't be helped, because if you want it to look good, you just got to spend the time until I get better at it. Oh, by the way, did I mention that the comic that I'm submitting is going to be in color? yeah. If I do win and I do the comic, it will be in color. I have not done a color comic since the very first comic I did. So that will just add on to the layer of challenges. And 100 pages of color comic is... I might actually, if I do win the scholarship, I probably will hire someone to put the flat colors in because I think I would just kill myself. Not, well, I wouldn't kill myself. Yeah, I would. I would end up slowly killing myself because when you sit at a chair for that long, cranking out art, that actually is damaging to your body. So, but if I do win, I'd like to make that book and make it a hardcover and just, you know, try and level up right there, which means I'm gonna spend extra time making sure the drawings look phenomenal. Just phenomenal. Give her a little bit of an outline right here. Keep them separate from the background and the foreground. Stuff like that. I would love to show you guys some of the recent paintings that I've been making at work, but I have to wait till they come up, until they show up on the, whatchamacallit, on the website, which won't be for another 6 months or more. But I've been learning quite a number of painting techniques, like, I don't know, I've been getting really nostalgic, like really old, like JRPG style, and I hope to show that up whenever I have time. I think that's pretty clean. I hate drawing foliage. That's not legible. There you go. Much better. Let's see here. So far, so good with my whole New Year's resolution things. Wonder how far everybody else is going. I know by the time it gets to like the second week of February, people are just like dropping like flies. Dropping like flies, people. Dropping like flies. Dropping like flies. But yeah. I'm thinking of not fully but semi-resurrecting Oiclair into that light novel story, which, full confession, I don't think I've ever read a light novel. Like, I've never read a light novel. I've read books. I've read a bit of whatchamacallit, young adult books, but I've never read a light novel. So I don't exactly, but I've watched so many shows based on light novels. Like, pretty much every anime coming out right now is like based on a light novel, and that's all grand and dandy. Too bad almost none of them interest me. None of the ones that are being translated anyways. I can't read Japanese yet. Still have to make those flashcards. still gotta make those flashcards. I cut up the flashcards, but I haven't sit and look up the N5 test to see all the vocabulary that you're required to learn. I'm sure there's a couple of, I mean, I just don't know what's been translated lately, and then all the stuff that's like popular right now, like, it's not that they're bad, they're just not my thing. Like, I don't do slice of life all that much. Like, really don't do slice of life. So some of the older light novels, let's say Spice and Wolf and whatever, I just take one look at the cover and I'm like, not my thing. But the reason why I'm writing is, one, I don't have time to draw for everything. Two, I want the drawings to be more illustrative to begin with. And three, it's actually, the story is kind of like a reverse isekai kind of thing. Steven Universe. So I gave it about 13 episodes, and from what I've understood, people have said that even those who love it said that there was some serious writing issues because it can't decide if it want to be fully episodic or fully epic. So maybe if I just skip to like mid-season and then read some spoilers, I'll probably get into it. But Steven Universe suffers from the same thing that, like, whatchamacallit, what's that other series that was popular? Avatar. Yeah, Steven Universe suffers from the same thing that I have with Avatar, and that is I cannot stand the main character. Like, if the main character had less screen time. I can't do over perkiness. I just can't do it. It's just, I can't even stand characters like that in real life. I don't hate them. It's just they make me so tired. Like, why are you so full of energy? Stop sapping everything. Go away. I'm tired. Maybe if they had it in like book form, I could read it, because then I don't have to worry about the over perkiness. But my good gracious, when a main character is that happy-go-lucky, it was the same thing that happened with, let's say, Naruto. I just couldn't do the happy-go-lucky. It was too happy-go-lucky, y'all. Way too happy-go-lucky. Way too happy-go-lucky. Not that I don't like happy people, it's just when you're that squeaky sounding or obnoxious, I just get so tired. I'm like, stop. Stop. See, as a child, I was the type that hang out with the adults and the older people because I told you, I was born tired and I was born chill. As funny as it is, I'm not like a bookworm per se, but I might as well be. I just sat there. I would be the type that like watching rainfall. Like, I find it to be beautiful. Just watch rainfall for like an hour or two. So yeah, I think both of those series are one of those things where I have to like skip into season 2 or 3 and then read some summary of the previous season, and just from there on I'll think about, like, oh, I should watch it. But I have been pretty busy, so, and there's actually quite a number of things for me to watch. I will say I recently finished watching Rose of Versailles, which is that 1970s historical romance shoujo. Normally I wouldn't, but the art direction was good and it did make me cry, and it's hard for me to cry, and I was like, oh, awesome. But if someone were to ask me, hey, so you must like historical fiction, I actually don't really like historical fiction all that much. The genre is too full of weird romance tropes that I particularly don't care for. But that one was a good one. Whom else did I recently watch? I recently watched the actual movie, so it was a live action of Shogun. And yo, Japan is still and was no joke. That society is hard. Ooh, that society is not somebody to be messing with. Not people to be messing with. They might smile politely and all, but their history is nothing. Well, all right. Probably gonna get this done and then what other show that I've tried to watch? I tried watching Kill la Kill just to see why everyone likes it. It's the same with what was the previous anime that they made like that? I forgot. I don't know. It's just that anime with robots and that guy with the orange pointed sunglasses. I couldn't. I've tried really hard, and like halfway through episode 4, I was like, no, it's not happening. I couldn't even handle that. Ugh. And then what else? I'm currently watching. What is that show called actually? I want to say it's called Battleship Yamato, the remake. Yep, Star Blazers, Battleship Yamato. Which is a space opera. Hey, I like what I like, and I'm really liking it. It's looking really pretty. Star Blazers Battleship Yamato is an anime, and it's on Crunchyroll. Shogun is based on a novel of historical Japan, based on a real character where he was an English guy that his ship was stranded. So this one is actually based on historical. His ship was stranded in Japan, and it was during the Warring States period. Like, I think it's called Shingoku Jidai or something like that. And the guy realized that over in Europe they have certain technologies, so he burned the ship without telling the man, and just kind of slowly, but not slowly, kind of forced this guy into Japanese society. And while trying to take over Japan, that one is live action, and it's based on I didn't know that, and I was just like, oh my goodness. Rose of Versailles is a 1970s shoujo anime / manga. If you like, it's pretty intense, especially when you consider that it is based on an actual thing that happened in history, which was very sad. But the art direction for 70s anime, you have to give them props. Like, I think anime in this day and age, some can be really good, but sometimes I think they depend too much on the technology that they have versus actually writing a good story or having good art direction. So what other anime that's pretty popular that people like? What's that anime that everyone likes lately? Re:Zero? Not my thing. I tried maybe 4 or 5 episodes in, and then I realized I don't like mystery all that much, especially with mystery with random cute girls that look like every other random cute girl. Nothing against cute girls. I'm just kind of like, I've been there, done that. Give me someone else. And if you're not, the only pass I give is space opera, really, because space opera, I know exactly what I want. Inking of the hair. I really like the smoothing thing on Photoshop. It's been pretty good. I'm purposely leaving him without face right here because it's supposed to be like a moody scene, a moody panel. You'll see it when it's toned. Hopefully we'll get this updated on the 16. Because I only have like, I don't have that much to do. Let's see here. I know I put up like an inking hair tutorial, but it was marker instead of, it was like by hand instead for the Inktober challenge. It's pretty much the same idea digitally. It's all the same. It's all the same. I want to see Made in Abyss, but it's not on Crunchyroll. Saga of Tanya. I don't know. I'm intrigued to watch it, and I'll probably watch it in another year or two because I'm that type of person who watch shows like a year or two after it ends. We'll see. Because it does look intriguing. Very much so. So I probably will look up Tanya. What other series that people were talking about lately? But see, don't think that my taste buds are like super high class or anything. For some odd reason, I actually like the first season of Sword Art Online. Don't ask me. I just thought that the main characters, I liked them because they were overpowered. I just thought they were giving me this kind of Bonnie and Claude type vibe, and they actually continued on with their relationship, and they were both equally badass. Ooh, sorry. They were just both equally awesome characters, and they owned their power, and it was cool. And then after that, the rest of the series does not exist for me. But I do want to see Made in Abyss. Based on the commercials, it kind of reminds me of is it called Cloud Atlas? No, that's not it. That's a movie. I forgot the movie. The concept art was from Range Murata. And it reminds me of that kind of ethereal, otherworldliness kind of characters. Ah, looks good. Xenon was the 4th season, right? Of SAO. That did make me cry. I will be honest, that series made me cry. I should just list anime that made me cry. The very first anime that made me cry was Cowboy Bebop, and then the next one was probably Yu Yu Hakusho. I pretty much, the way you see me working digitally is the same way I would work traditionally. I don't believe that because I switch between the two so much that I don't have like the brain power to be constantly making a method for digital versus a method for traditional. Which, because of that, a lot of times if someone's trying to learn either or, I'm pretty good at explaining it to them in their terms. Like if I had an oil painter right now, never touch computer, I could teach, but he paints amazingly, he or she paints amazingly, it would take me maybe an hour or two to teach them how to use Photoshop. Angel Beats. What's Angel Beats? I know I've heard of it. I'm sure I've seen the thing. I'll look it up. Full Metal Alchemist. Oh my goodness. That series made me cry several times now. Like I said, Rosa Versailles made me cry. What recent anime made me cry? I know one that made me angry. And not in a good way angry, like angry at the actual production house angry. And that would be Aldenoa Zero. You know, that Mecha Mars Against Earth show that just didn't go anywhere? That show. I pretty much avoid anyone made any of that director stuff now. Or any of that writer stuff. Like, it was such a major disappointment. It's like, the animation was gorgeous. The whatchamacallit, The music is still good. I'm just now recovering emotionally now that I could listen to the music and not get angry. The music was beautiful. The character designs was well thought out. Like, everything was right. The voice acting, great. The setup of the story, we were ready for 4 or 5 seasons. And then season 2 happened. And then you're just like, why? What? What? I was so upset about that. This face looks janky. This is why you work on things like days after, because then you realize, oh, wait, this is not working. So, after that, I don't think I watched much of anything in 2017. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I watch a lot of tutorial videos, YouTube videos, a lot of business videos. A lot of how-to videos. I wish I could read more manga though. One Punch Man is going on good. Love it. Love it. Yeah, that's true. What other good manga that's happening right now? Any suggestions? I think I'll just... Okay, so I'm getting into the groove a little bit, but I think I will extend this out to 9, and then we'll call it officially done. Okay? We agree? Okay, we agree. Orange is Orange like that time travel, that bit of time traveling slice of life type show? Yeah. I'm thinking Orange was like that slice of life time traveling show from what I understand. I think another series that kind of came out that was like that was Erased or something. I think it was Erased. That kind of reminds me of that. Oh, that'd be a funny topic. Series that you feel like you wasted your time and didn't bother to complete. Or you saw the ending and you're like, no, that ending does not make sense. I pretty much stay away from most slice of life now. I mean, I wasn't into it to begin with, but I stay away from them because they get a little bit too meta. And let's just be real, the majority of the people in the industry are all experiencing relatively similar stuff because they're very insular. They're very insular. We're very insular. We're all insular. The thing is, it's just coming from too much of a similar point of view that it just they're trying to put little gimmicks on it like fruit basket but time traveling, and it's like, no, you can't be another fruit basket. Stop. And I just, as soon as I mean, it's a good thing because as soon as I see the cover, I'm like, okay, I know this is not for me. But I totally take like, I don't know, I love sci-fi. I have a number of books. I still want to get to read the Asimov, all of Asimov series, but those are very hard military sci-fi. And I know nobody in the military. I'm all about peace and stuff, but it is interesting to read their stories. And then there's the I think Reynolds was the other sci-fi writer that I'm like, I need to read, but each of his books are like 700 plus pages. It's like, yeah. Furuba was awesome. If I'm gonna go full on nostalgic, no, the series that made me kind of tear up because the ending was really good was Hikaru no Go. That series warmed my heart. I was happy. I was okay with it ending. I was accepting with it ending. It was warm. I love Hikaru no Go. Even though I do not care for sports manga. But when you start out with a character from elementary all the way to like finished businessman, like past college and stuff, I was like, aw. And then seeing how the different characters were so intriguing and different, like you take something so simple. Yes. Hikaru no Go was my thing. Okay, I think I'm done with this panel. If you have not read Hikaru no Go, it's definite. I'm so sad. Like I don't think that writer and that I should look up that writer to see if he made a light novel, but I don't think the writer and the artist do stuff together again because it was done by the artist that did Bakuman and Death Note. Right now he's working with the writer of Bakuman and Death Note, and no offense to both Bakuman and Death Note, like it was exploring aspects about, well, Bakuman was exploring aspects about the whole anime and manga industry that I want to keep ignorant about, and because seriously some of these stories can get really dark when you really think about what happens to them, when you think about what happens to the idols, and the whole music industry over there is just unfortunate, the whole TV industry. And then Death Note was a thriller, and I'm not really into thrillers, and everyone was discussing it so much that I pretty much was super spoiled by it and was like, I'm satisfied now. I'm not into mystery thrillers. I just am not. But Hikaru no Go warmed my heart really, really well. Yeah, that arm was looking pretty not so good, so I'm glad I fixed that. These little spot blacks really help make the image like stand on its 2 feet. You need to have them. Don't be afraid to add the spot blacks. I think that's good. Let's add some more darks. Also, line direction really makes a difference. I should probably make a general inking video, notations and stuff like that as to why I spend this long erasing and redoing inks. But it might end up being very like scholarly, like a study of the styles and representation of inking and what the line means, or something like that. Yeah, I'll call the video The Definition of a Line. How weight and contrast help bring an artwork to life, or something like that. I think I will. I think I will. I think I will. I definitely am. I am going to write this down right now. Turn it off. Yeah. My little kitty cat is nuzzling her blanket, putting all her little saliva all over it. See this? See this right here? These things? This is stuff that I hate. These little nib stuff. I hate those things. They don't look good. You really see them when they're printed. Destroy that thing right there. There you go. There you go. Beautiful. There you go. I kind of wish they printed more manga in like thicker volumes, like the 3-for-1 volumes more often. I wish they did that like straight out the bat, because I really don't feel like going after one by one books. Which is what I'm gonna do for Cross Star. Like, I'll have the one by one books for like print on demand, but any like major printing that I'm gonna do myself, it's gonna, like, for conventions or whatever, it's gonna be like 300 pages in one book or something. Because really, I buy them for like archival reasons. I don't buy them because I want to read the comic, because you could read the comic online. Actually, this doesn't work. There you go. Ah, taking out the nibs, taking out these nibs. I think I'm going to try to keep these sessions on a Wednesday and Sunday, roughly 7:30 p.m. I think that would work. Let me know if that works for you guys. Sunday is definitely 7 p.m. because, I mean, it's Sunday. I'm probably going to be working. I'm usually less tired then anyways. But Mondays and Tuesdays, I'm pretty much out of it. And Thursdays, I'm doing something else. I'm not at home until like much later. Huh. I might actually go do a whole basics of making a little comic series and videos, just so. But it takes a while to make those things though. But I will eventually start piecing them together. Eventually. Since I'm making that comic project, I might as well make that the basics of making a comic. Oh, did I mention that I'm also participating in an illustration anthology? Yeah, I'm doing that too. What else am I doing? Oh, I don't know. I'm just learning how to skydive and maybe learn how to do a couple of surgical procedures while I'm at it. I mean, you know, I'm gonna just live forever and learn all these things. Might as well become a polyglot. Learn 10 languages. Can one be called greedy when you want to do too many things? I guess you could call me kind of greedy. I want to do too many things. I think this page is pretty well. Let's see. Yeah, I think, okay, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and finish this character, and then that'll be it for today. Some of you may not notice this, but I actually struggle really hard not to make my character to be shonen like. Nothing wrong with being a bishonen, but it doesn't match for this story. That's all. But considering pretty much every character is being very pretty in anime and manga, I guess I'm like, all right, well, everybody wants everybody to look good. Ah, yeah. I mean, I did make him with flowing hair, but there's actually a story reason for his hair to be this way. Okay? There's actually a story reason for it. I'm going to hide behind that excuse. Yeah, I must be feeling pretty good today for some reason. But it doesn't matter because I'll be feeling pretty not so good in the morning because I am not a morning person. It can't be helped that I am not a morning person. Not that anybody cares that I'm not a morning person. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna end this after this. And I've just recently have another incentive to end this early. I need to take a little restroom break right after this. And my internet decides to be finicky. La da 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 da. There you go. I think I cleaned him out though. This is pretty cleaned. I have a real thing for stuff like ending on a sharp tapering edge. Yeah, okay. I think this is pretty, I think that's pretty, yeah. Well, any final question, you guys, before I head on out? Any final thoughts? Perhaps stuff that you want me to leave with or think about? I hope to get this updated on the 16th. I have it marked on my calendar, and there should not be an issue for me to get it done on the 16th because I'm not traveling or anything. I'm just staying home, so why would I not get this done? So let me know if there's any other things that you want me to do. Because other than that, I'll probably go ahead and sign out pretty soon. And again, the final reminder is I do have that giveaway going on until the end of January. So if you want to have a potential of winning one of my gently used comic how to draw books, especially if you like my artwork, you might as well see the books that I actually use to get to the point that I am right now. Just head on over to that other video. It'll be titled Giveaway. And then watch the video for the different books that I'm talking about and then pick one of them by leaving it in your comments. That's all you gotta do. And I do take sketch requests. They're either contemporary, as in like modern day, or sci-fi. You just leave a link in the comments of any of the sketch request videos that I've had, and it's actually a playlist, so it's easy to find. Just a link to either the description of your character or an image of your character if you already have them drawn. If you have a description and let's say a costume reference, one image, you can post that in too. And I'll make sure to get to that, record it, and post it up on YouTube. Um, just upload your image like on any regular thing. Let's say you have an Instagram or a Facebook page or Twitter. Upload it and then just drop the link inside the comments in the sketch request video. I mean, we're all going through some things, whether it's just dealing with school or work or peoples and dramas. I rather come home and chill. Some people like watching drama. I like to just chill, just relax, kind of decrescendo throughout the day, calm my mind a bit, and eventually go to bed with some sweet dreams. Plus, it's illegal to actually, not illegal, but listen to 80s pop music. I might. If I do, I'm going to have to demonetize that video though. But I'm totally fine listening to some like Eurythmics and some Aha. You're I don't know, cause you could request something complex, like it could be super complex, but I might simplify it. By the time I do the sketch request, I would have to see the image, because I've gotten a few of them where the character design was super complex and I just simplify it a little bit. Okay. I will say though, the music kind of makes me want to drink a cup of coffee. I don't know why, but coffee doesn't wake me up. It just makes me happy, like in a good way. Like I drink a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, and then I'll just snuggle on my couch or something. It takes like an hour before the caffeine even kind of sort of kicks in, kind of sort of. I think that's good for now. Yeah, I think at this point, if I do anything extra, it's just because I'm being overly picky. Yeah. That works. That works. That works. All right. I think that's pretty clean. I don't think I have any like random straight edges. So let's go ahead and duplicate this guy. I think that's good. I duplicate it because I do find a random straight edge. I duplicate them mostly so that way I could have the blacks really contrast really strongly. There you go. That was it. That was that. He's missing an ear. That's grand. There you go. Okay. I think that works. That works. Great. I can see why people don't draw curly hair, because it's annoying to keep drawing. But I can't help it. I like my characters to look different from each other. All right, it's official. We're done with this. We're done with this, I think. All right, so what's up for next? The next video is working on this background, and it's a 2-page background. And it looks janky here, but it's like an alien pub scene. So I gotta. Oh, did I spoil it for you guys? Oh well, you haven't seen anything yet. It's a minor thing. It's a minor thing. You didn't hear anything from me. Point is, I'm gonna be working on this, the next one, in the next video, which hopefully will be Sunday. So for those of you who are here, thank you. For those of you who are listening to the replay, Sunday, roughly 7:30. I'll schedule it so you'll see the actual time pop up on YouTube. If you don't know yet, you can click on the little bell icon. I think it's like for alerts or whatever. I don't know. All these YouTubers are saying to click on it, but that'll probably pop up and let you know that, hey, I am live streaming and get this done. And then hopefully that Monday, that Tuesday-ish, Wednesday-ish, I'll go ahead and finally post the update, the next part, the second part of chapter 2 of Crossstar, and start working on other things. Just a quick thought is that not all the art and chats will be drawing the comic only. I could be working on illustrations or something or whatnot. And for these things, I would love, in any of my videos, you could leave like a comment or a request or a question, and I'll just load them in and start off the next art and chat session. I think I'll eventually, I don't know, maybe make a proper email list or social media post where I could just like collect all the comments for these things. But yeah, you guys, if there's nothing final, thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will hopefully see you guys the next time. And yeah, I think that's it. Thanks for watching, you guys. See you next time.